In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the last 8 years of Emily and my journey to building our property portfolio, and each year along the way, what we did to get to where we are today. Now, this is not meant to be a flex of about how great we are. It's about me being open and transparent and sharing the journey with you. Even in our own home, our raise and build project, which we're going to be bringing to the YouTube channel very soon, I'll be sharing the detailed numbers of what our trades costs and how we went about building that property. So sharing this breakdown with you is meant to be an encouragement to show you that it's absolutely possible to achieve what Emily and I have achieved. It does take time, it does take hard work, but it's absolutely possible. So let's start with year number one, which was 2016. Emily and I got married in July 2016. It was a very big year for us, and we were very young. I was 21 years old at that point in time, and it was a very exciting year. We got married, we moved into a rough little 2-bedroom apartment on the south side of Brisbane, and we had about $5,000 to our name. Not a lot of money. Newly married, not a lot of money, and I just started working full-time as an accountant. I was working in Brisbane City, catching the bus every day to work, driving to audit jobs because I was working in the audit division, and 2016 was a really exciting year for us. We were newlyweds, we were doing life together, and we were just happy to be in that space. So that was the start of our savings journey, which leads us into 2017. 2017 was a whole lot of work. People forget that it does take a lot of time for you to save a deposit. So in 2017, we were both working hard. Now at this point in time, Emily had just begun starting full-time work. And in 2016, it had just been myself working full-time. So another year had passed, we're both working full-time jobs, and we'd saved about $20,000 to $25,000 in this year. I was earning about $50,000, Emily was earning about $50,000, and when you take out the tax and then take out 25 grand of savings, we lived on less than 50K in that year. The major way we were able to do that was by paying cheap rent. We didn't live in a nice apartment really close to the city. We lived about 10 Ks out on the south side of Brisbane in a pretty rough little apartment. But it was a start and a way for us to save our money, which leads me into 2018. By the middle of 2018, so around June, July 2018, we had saved around $66,000. So over the last 2+ years, we've been able to scrimp and save and put our money together to work towards a house deposit. And this was when we bought our very first property. It was a home on the north side of Brisbane that we purchased for $805,000. The strategy for this property was for it not to be our forever home. We were looking for a blue chip area where we could add value, increase the cash flow over time, and eventually move out, refinance, and repeat that process. So in 2018, in September, from memory, we ended up buying that property and starting our renovation journey. Boy, it was a learning experience. I remember we jacked the house, we re-leveled it. There was a lot of maintenance to do in the home because it's a big old Queenslander. It's about 6-bed, 3-bath, so we rented out some of the rooms as well to help us house hack. So much work involved with our very first property and a massive learning curve, but we learnt a lot throughout that process. It was difficult. I clearly remember we were living in the renovation downstairs, and there were some days which were pretty tough, but we cracked on. We built a new kitchen, we did a brand new bathroom, we painted. It was a learning curve, but the renovations created growth and equity in that property. Now in 2019, I had been working in audit for over 3 years and I got my chartered accountant status. This was a major milestone for me. Becoming a chartered accountant is no mean feat. You need to do at least a 3-year bachelor's degree, and I did university for 4.5 years because I did a double degree, which I look back on and wonder why I spent that extra time and money on getting a double degree, but that was all the rage at the time. And in 2019, I also had finished 3 years of full-time work experience as an accountant. And so therefore I got my full chartered accountant status. The great thing about getting that was I got a significant pay rise. I was earning about $60,000 to $65,000, including super, as a third-year accountant, as a third-year auditor in this mid-tier accounting firm. But after making the jump and getting my full chartered accountant status into an operational division of a company, I was able to get around a $20,000 increase in pay. That was huge for Emily and I. $20,000 a year of increased pay, moving into my 4th year in full-time work, was a major change for me. Emily had also been kicking goals in her job and getting pay increases. And so that had enabled us to get access to our equity and look to buy our next investment property. And so that's exactly what we did. In 2020, we ended up buying 2 homes, probably the biggest year for us in terms of buying property. Personally, I mean. So for us in Feb 2020, we went and bought the Baby Queenslander, which was a renovation series we did here on the YouTube channel. It was a little 2-bedroom home about 10 kilometers north of Brisbane. We'd had some experience renovating, so this was a great project for us to tackle. We sanded the floors, we used the paint sprayer, fully painted internally, we cosmetically updated the kitchen and the bathroom, and we learnt a lot again throughout that renovation process. This actually made our next renovation, which was the triple Gable Queenslander, which we bought in September 2020, a lot easier because we've done it twice now. We've done it with our first home. We've done it with the Baby Queenslander. So buying the triple Gable Queenslander on the south side of Brisbane, which was our own home, was a lot easier journey for us to renovate. We didn't live as much in the renovation, which was a good decision by us. And again, we created value by manufacturing it through those short-term renovations and looking to create equity as fast as possible. So talking about creating equity, we harvested that equity or pulled that equity out in 2021. So at the start of 2021, after acquiring 3 properties worth around $3.5 million, renovating all those homes, so working about 6 days a week, we were tired a little bit, to be perfectly honest, but it had been well worth it because we were able to pull out over $500,000 from Australia's major bank, CBA, to go out and buy our next investment purchase. We actually looked at buying a unit block in an area called Burleigh Heads, which is on the Gold Coast. About 200 meters, 300 meters from the water, it was a 4-pack unit block that sold about $400,000 more than we wanted to buy. We ended up acquiring a unit block in an area called Coffs Harbour, located between Jetty Beach and the centre of town, so in a great location. And that was our next big purchase. And that pushed us over the $5 million mark in terms of property value. So all the hard work had started to pay off and the snowball had begun to roll. So we built out our property portfolio by starting with capital growth focused properties first. And now we bought a major cash flow asset to add value to again and to look to balance out our property portfolio between the cash flow and the growth. Now in 2022, we had a huge year. Our little son Asa was born and he's about 18 months now, which is really exciting. And we have another baby boy on the way. So 2022, becoming a father was a huge thing for me. You definitely change. As you become a father, you feel like you take on some more responsibility and it does put things into perspective that life is short. We only have a limited time here on this earth. And so creating choices through our property portfolio was solidified by the birth of our son Asa in 2022. Emily and I talk a lot. We're a team when it comes to building our property portfolio. I know you might see my face here on the YouTube channel a lot, but this is a team effort between Emily and I as we've gone through this entire process. And as I recap on the last 8 years, it's been a team the entire journey. Not only the number crunching, not only the renovating, the entire strategy, the big picture, we've been through it all together. And so if you have that person that you can do this with and build your property portfolio, it's been very rewarding for Emily and I to do this together, build our property portfolio over time, and work towards an end goal that we both agree on, which is creating more choices for us, which means Emily can potentially stay at home more with the kids. I can focus on our business because we have the choices now. So maybe consider that for yourself. You don't have to have a kid to have that epiphany, but that definitely happened for us in 2022. Now this leads me into 2023, which has been by far our biggest year in terms of property and life and all things in general. At the start of this year, we did our flip project in Aspley on the north side of Brisbane. And I tell you what, I wouldn't be signing up for another flip project unless I was to make hundreds of thousands. Even then, I think it's probably not worth it. I've realized that buying, renovating, and holding onto that valuable property is a great way to grow your wealth, rather than trying to make a quick buck through that flip project. I had the itch and that itch has now been scratched, so I probably won't be looking to a flip project anytime soon. I've also had alopecia areata this year, which may have been because of the flip project and new kids and life changing and things going on in life, but that is part of it. And so 2023 has been a growth year for us, both in our business, personally, professionally, all those sorts of things. And I've been really excited about 2023 and looking forward to 2024. But the biggest project in our portfolio to date in 2023 is our Raise and Build project. A massive project for us, over $500,000 to be spent on our renovations. And we're looking to lift our home, build in underneath, add at least 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms downstairs, add a YouTube studio space upstairs, and we're really excited to be sharing that renovation project with you in the near future. If you want to get a sneak peek, you can head over to my Instagram and you can see the pool being craned in. You can see some of the framework up. It's been very exciting, so I can't wait to share the entire series with you here on the YouTube channel soon. So this has been an entire timeline breakdown of our property portfolio journey over the last 8 years. I thought this would give you a lot of perspective because after meeting and chatting with new people and the growth of the YouTube channel, people sometimes think you're an overnight success. But I would say we're a success because we've been consistent, diligent, understanding our finances, evaluating our strategy, and working very hard across this last 8-year period. But it's absolutely paying off for us, and we're very blessed to be where we are today. So I hope our journey has encouraged you. It's absolutely possible to build out the property portfolio to give you choices. It's one step at a time, one property at a time, one call with your broker or bank at a time. You can do this, it's just breaking it down to those incremental steps. If you're looking for help and you want to understand exactly how to build a multi-million-dollar property portfolio in a chronological order, you can buy my course, Invest with Purpose. We currently have a sale which is 15% off. So for less than $500, you can get over 3 hours of content of me talking you through exactly how Emily and I built our multi-million-dollar property portfolio. You'll get spreadsheets, you'll get example numbers, and it goes in that chronological order, so it makes it very easy for you to follow. Also, if you're looking to buy your own home or an investment here in the Southeast Queensland market in the next 6 months, head over to purposeproperty.com.au to book in a free strategy session with myself. Otherwise, thanks for sticking around to the end of this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.